The rain hammered against the windshield as Marcus pulled into the grocery store parking lot, his 5-year-old daughter Emma bouncing in her car seat behind him. 3 years had passed since Sarah's death, 3 years of learning to braid hair with YouTube tutorials, of burning more dinners than he cared to count, and of watching his little girl's eyes search every crowd for the mother who would never come home. Tonight was supposed to be simply groceries, maybe ice cream if Emma behaved, then home to their quiet house where framed photos served as silent reminders of the family they used to be. But life, Marcus had learned, rarely followed simple plans. As he unbuckled Emma from her seat, a woman's frustrated voice cut through the steady drumbeat of rain. About 50 feet away, a young woman in scrubs stood beside a beat-up Honda Civic, phone pressed to her ear, her shoulders sagging with defeat. "No, I understand you can't come out in this weather," she was saying, her voice cracking slightly. "It's just I have to be at work in 30 minutes, and I can't afford to miss another shift." Marcus felt Emma's small hand slip into his. "Daddy, why is that lady sad?" Before he could answer, the woman ended her call and leaned against her car, running her hands through her damp hair. Something in her posture or the way she held herself like she was carrying the weight of the world reminded him of himself in those first months after Sarah died. "Stay close, sweetheart," Marcus murmured, leading Emma toward the woman. "Excuse me," he called out, raising his voice over the rain. "Car trouble?" The woman looked up, startled. She was probably in her late 20s, with kind eyes that held the particular exhaustion of someone juggling too many responsibilities. Her hospital scrubs were wrinkled from a long shift, and Marcus noticed the worn edges of her shoes that had walked countless miles caring for others. "Oh, yes," she stammered, clearly uncomfortable accepting help from a stranger. "It won't start. My mechanic can't come out until tomorrow, and the towing company is backed up because of the storm." "I'm pretty handy with cars," Marcus offered. "Mind if I take a look?" She hesitated, glancing between him and Emma, who was peeking out from behind his legs. "I don't want to impose. You have your daughter with you, and this rain." "Daddy fixes everything," Emma announced proudly, stepping forward with the fearless confidence that only 5-year-olds possess. "He fixed my dollhouse when the roof fell off, and he fixed our kitchen sink when it made scary noises." The woman smiled at the first genuine smile Marcus had seen from her. "Well, that sounds pretty impressive." "I'm Marcus, and this is Emma," he said, extending his hand. "And honestly, we're in no hurry. Let me pop the hood." "I'm Claire," she replied, shaking his hand. "And I. Thank you." "Really?" "I'm a nurse at General Hospital, and I've already had to call in sick twice this month because of car problems. I can't afford to lose this job." As Marcus examined the engine, Emma struck up a conversation with Claire, chattering about her favorite cartoons and asking Claire about her work at the hospital. Claire crouched down to Emma's level, genuinely interested in what the little girl had to say, and Marcus found himself stealing glances at their interaction while he worked. "Your alternator belt snapped," Marcus diagnosed after a few minutes. "But you're in luck, there's an auto parts store right across the street, and this is a pretty quick fix." Relief flooded Claire's face. "How much will it cost?" "I should warn you, I'm kind of tight on money right now." "Don't worry about it," Marcus said, already heading toward his truck for his toolbox. "Belt's probably $15. Consider it a good deed." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "I can't let you do that. You don't even know me." "Maybe not," Marcus replied, "but I know what it's like to feel like the world's working against you. Sometimes we all need someone in our corner." While Marcus went to get the part, Emma and Claire sat in his truck, protected from the rain. Through the windshield, Claire could see Marcus jogging across the street, his jacket pulled over his head, and she felt something she hadn't experienced in a long time, the comfort of knowing someone cared enough to help without expecting anything in return. "Is your mommy at home?" Emma asked suddenly, her innocent question hitting Claire like a gentle punch to the chest. "No, sweetheart. I don't have a mommy or a daddy. It's just me," Claire replied softly. Emma pondered this for a moment. "That must be lonely." "We don't have a mommy either. She went to heaven when I was little." Claire's heart clenched. "I'm sorry, Emma. That must make you very sad sometimes." "Sometimes," Emma admitted. "But Daddy takes really good care of me. He makes pancakes shaped like butterflies and reads me 3 stories every night, even when he's tired." When Marcus returned, he worked quickly and efficiently, his hands steady despite the rain that had started falling harder. Claire held an umbrella over him while Emma provided helpful commentary from the safety of the truck. "There," Marcus said finally, wiping his hands on an old drag. "Try it now." Claire turned the key, and the engine roared to life. She pressed her hands to her mouth, overwhelmed with gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "You saved my job, possibly my apartment. I can't believe there are still people like you in the world." "Just pay it forward," Marcus replied simply. "Help someone else when you can." As Claire prepared to leave, Emma suddenly tugged on her father's sleeve with unusual urgency. She whispered something in his ear that made his cheeks flush red. "Emma, you can't just..." He started to protest. But Emma had already turned to Claire with the devastating honesty that only children possess. "Can she be my mommy?" she asked, loud enough for Claire to hear clearly. The parking lot fell silent except for the rain. Marcus looked mortified, Claire stood frozen with surprise, and Emma looked between them both with helpful expectation. "Sweetheart," Marcus said gently, "we've just met Claire." You can't ask people to be your mommy. But Claire was looking at Emma with wonder, then at Marcus with something deeper, a recognition, perhaps, of two souls who understood loss and resilience. "You know what, Emma?" Claire said, crouching down once more to meet the little girl's eyes. "I think your daddy is doing an amazing job taking care of you." "But," she paused, glancing up at Marcus, "maybe we could be friends first? Would you like that?" Emma nodded enthusiastically. "Can we have dinner together?" "Daddy makes really good spaghetti, but he always burns the garlic bread." Claire laughed, a sound like music in the rain. "I happen to be excellent at garlic bread." Marcus found his voice. "Emma, we should let Claire get to work. She's already late because of us." "Actually," Claire said, "my shift doesn't start for another hour. I always leave early because of my car troubles. And after what you've done for me." She looked between father and daughter, seeing something she'd been searching for without knowing it. "I think I owe you both dinner." 6 months later, Marcus would propose in that same parking lot, with Emma holding the ring box and Claire's Honda Civic now perfectly maintained parked in the exact spot where their lives had collided on a rainy Thursday night. But that evening, as the three of them shared spaghetti and perfectly toasted garlic bread around Marcus's kitchen table, they were simply three people who had found each other when they needed it most. Emma chattered about her day at kindergarten, Claire shared funny stories from the hospital, and Marcus watched his daughter's eyes sparkle with a joy he hadn't seen since Sarah died. Sometimes the best things in life begin with a broken-down car, a stranger's kindness, and a 5-year-old's fearless belief that love can bloom anywhere, even in a grocery store parking lot in the rain.